Hello, everybody, and we're live with Dice with Death. Ryan, how are you?
Hello. Wait, there's a new intro? Or are they trolling me?
They are trolling you.
Damn.
They gotcha.
Me. Or did it glitch out or something?
No, I think
just a perfectly ordinary intro, and as usual, chat's pulling my leg.
Full of lies and deceit.
Well, what is new, Neal?
Well, I built a new map.
This is new. This is not. I thought this was going to be like Yaka or whatever it's called. Oh, spoilers.
Sort of.
Yaka before it gets blown to pieces.
It's Yaka before the storms came and the mountains rose. So it's the same landmass, but a completely different configuration. Some areas are sort of similar, but there's no mountains, or there's very, very few mountains. There's no jungles. It's mostly plains and grasslands and light forests, with some hilly areas in between. I'm hoping to create like an Italian peninsula, or maybe like a Greek peninsula sort of thing. It's a little less rugged than the Greek peninsulas and a little bit more wild than the Italian peninsula, which is just like, a dick with a mountain running down it.
I am a Greek god.
Aren't you an Italian god?
Oh, they're one and the same, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Bacchus. I'm Bacchus.
Bacchus. Yes, also known as Dionysus.
Yeah.
God of wine and
God of love handles.
Yeah. So, let's talk about the character you're gonna make.
So I've been fantasizing about Indiana Jones, or maybe Tomb Raider. I wasn't sure if I would go Lara Croft or Indiana Jones. But burst my bubble. I'm just kidding. I was kind of like, I was having trouble like coming up with a concept there that would be like serious enough to be interesting, right? Like he didn't want to be, don't want to be too campy, but just the right amount of campy. I was thinking of reusing that Chad character from Selkie.
Oh, okay.
Like with the leather jacket and the cool hat and the lasso. But I think you've saved us from Chad.
Chad, the man with the lasso. Well, I think we should do something on that border between Age of Heroes and Age of Might, where it's like you are the last hero who gives way to an empire or something. In theory, like to run this character in a more like rapid leveling. Let's get up to the upper levels and maybe explore this island a little bit and do this maybe magic making. I don't know if you want to be a spellcaster, like some subset of wizard who ends up making your own items, or if you want to do something else.
So I was thinking I would dip into wizard for the proficiencies. When we were talking, based on what I'd originally heard of this campaign. But
how would you feel about playing a highly heroic fighter wizard?
Yeah, I was thinking I would do multi-class, like a fighter rogue wizard. Maybe I don't need the rogue if we're not doing like tomb rating, but I think always help.
You'll start with a little tomb rating, but it probably won't be the meat and potatoes of the campaign. So let's do a stat buy, Ryan.
Oh God, what?
I know.
I think that was someone memed my face the last time you suggested a stat buy system.
Is it too reprehensible?
Yeah, I just had this look of disgust on my face, and it was just like the caption was like Neal asking, like, "Can I do a stat buy?" And me going, like, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to give you a heroic enough start that this can be one of those like Age of Heroes sort of people who rises out of obscurity into greatness.
Yeah,
I'd
our
like to give
46
you.
is not heroic enough.
They might be, and I'd like you to have like a couple of 15s, maybe 3. I don't know. Maybe I'm being
15 ain't shit in 2E. 16 or bust. I guess 15 int is fine.
Yeah, I guess 15 on is alright. But so do you wanna we could do 46 and then just like roll it a couple times until it's worthy of your characterness?
Yeah, I don't like what stat buys do you even have?
I built
don't
a
even
sheet.
understand stat buy enough to like work with it. But
I built a sheet, you buy points. 15 is 81 points, a 16 is 97. You start with, I don't know, 300, 420 points. And you
for a
just buy
super
shit.
character, you start with 420.
Heroic character, yeah.
Of course. Did you balance the system around?
No,
that?
no, I didn't. It just for a 6 stat system, you're supposed to start with 360, but when you add a 7 stat system, you add another 60 points, and it becomes 420.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we could do that, or you could roll 46. I don't really care. Whatever makes us happy. But I want it to be good.
All right. Well, why don't we do one try of the 46s and see what happens? Should I try camera finagling, rolling the old-fashioned way, or shall we just do it?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I got these lovely brass dice.
Ooh.
So let's see here. Let's see what we can do.
Wedding dice?
Oh, are they wedding dice? Who's wedding?
I don't know. You have brass dice. I have a brass die.
Yeah.
I didn't know if.
All right.
You're wearing your Protoss shirt today. Very nice.
Oh shit. All right. I dropped a die, but I'm going to pick it up with my toes.
Nice.
Save us from too much cam jittering. It'll take more time, but I think it will be a more pleasant experience for the users. For the viewers.
To see your toes?
No, to not have to see me. Okay, so we're giving this a try. Can you like type these into Roll20 as I roll them?
Yes.
Oh, can we see these? Oh, that's not bad. 663. These aren't very visible, are they?
A little visible. 663 1.
And dropping the 1. The script on these die is kind of hard to read. We got a 4, 4, 3. 2 3s, but it doesn't really matter. So 663 is 15. 443 is 11. Oh, I swear that's a 6 over here. So 6, 4,
6.
6. So that's 16. These stats could do. We'll find out.
Yeah, these are nice.
So that's a 6, 4, 3. Dropping a 1.
6, 4, 3. Hold on.
That's a 13.
6, 4, 3, 1 goes to 13.
6, 4, 2. And that's a 1 off the edge. I'm not going to bother moving.
Right. That'll get us 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. 6, 3. And there's another 3. 6, 3, 3, 2 is 12. Come on, I need like 117. Is this the last one? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And 6, 5, 3. There's a 5 under that chord there.
5. That's
6, 5, 3, 3. So that gets us 14.
Oh, we're so close.
What say ye, Neal?
I say you re-roll the 14.
Oh, I got an 18. Great.
Oh, it's off camera. Yay.
Why the 14? Why not the 11? Because you got to have some flavor. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, judges.
It's
Is
kind
that
of on its edge, but it's a heavy die. Where else would it have rolled, you know? That looks legit to me.
All right, that's another 15.
All right, so we got 2 15s, a 16, an 11, a 13, and 2 12s. Or you can drop the, well, I don't know. You got 8 stats, you can pick 7 of them. I don't give a shit. It'll be fine.
Should I
Fine.
do this on a character sheet or in like a Roll20 character sheet?
I have created a Roll20 character sheet if you so desire, but I know I like to typically use hand papers. I know McTacky loves when we use.
So it. Whoa. All right.
Rap battle. Yeah, it's a good one.
I will give this character sheet a try. Excuse me. Is it this 4061 character?
Uh-huh.
All right, popping it out. I was entertaining the idea of using martial arts stuff because I feel like that pairs well with a wizard, but a wizard can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Oh, so it doesn't auto fill in stats here, or does it?
No, it won't fill substats yet.
Working on it.
In development.
15, 11, 16.
We were going to start at a high level, but we didn't use the 420 stat points.
Would the 420 stat points have gotten me a higher level?
No, it was a cannabis joke. High level 420 stat points, yeah. Wasn't very good.
Elves get +1 dex, -1 con, right?
Yes. Do you want to play an elf?
I was entertaining it, but maybe not. Could also be a half elf, right? I mean, I've got to be mixed race in order to multi-class,
The multi-class,
right?
yeah.
I was thinking I may just do like half elf and have a character that's ambiguously
Sure.
elven.
That works for me. The other... Ooh, but half-elves
Good.
have stupid level restrictions. We might just throw away level restrictions.
I mean, how high level do you think we're going to get to? Like, the level restrictions are like 12. You want me to get past level 12?
I want you to get it to 14.
What? You just want to, like, I worked for years, slogged through your hellish campaign settings to get Grimes to level 13, and you're just going to easy mode me to 14?
I'm not saying easy mode, but I've broken permanency into greater permanency and lesser permanency. Lesser permanency is at 14, usable for items. Greater permanency is how you make spell effects permanent on yourself.
That's
That
a much
way-
better way to do it. Like, they just crammed way too much into the permanency spell.
Right.
And they
So
should
that way
maybe
you
even
can-
just call it something else.
So now you can make magic items at
Dance.
14,
No.
which is nice, because then it's potions at 9, potions and scrolls at 9, wands at 12, like magic items at 14, and then like personal magical effects at 16, which I think just is so much smoother.
Do half-elves get a bonus with swords?
I don't think so. I think that's a cultural
just elves.
thing. It's elven culture, man. You wouldn't understand.
What did where'd those dice go? Oh. Foolishly put my epic set of die back in the basic dice bag. Where are the level restrictions?
It's in the DMG. I got the old version of the DMG in front of me. It's on page 16. It's under Chapter 3, Races, Player Character Races.
I'll look there in a second. I wanted to look up the...
So
So
half-elf wizards max at 12, but if you have 16 int, you can bring it to 14. And a
Okay.
half-elf fighter maxes at 14, and if you have 15 strength, you can get it to another level higher. So you could do level 15, 14 fighter mage if you have a 15 in strength and a 16 in int.
15 strength is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's like 15 is just good enough to be cool. Oh wait, I think you can do it with 14? I think you can do it with 14 strength as well. Maybe
I don't even really have a 14 unless I swap out the 14.
You could swap, yeah, the 14 for the 11. Yeah, 14, 15 gives you +1, 16, 17 gives you +2 to level. 18 gives you +3, 14 gives you +4. So you could drop the 11, keep the 14. God, I love this rap battle track. It's so good.
Did you think playing an elf would be too complicated?
No, I just thought it would be a little odd for an elf to be coming from this, like, small human village in the hills.
All right.
I didn't even consider doing this from the elves' perspective, but there are elves on the island.
Nah, I think I'll do a ambiguous, like, half elf. What are you doing?
That you're gonna do an ambiguous half elf.
I mean, I think I will use half elf because it's mechanically required, but I think my character will just be like vaguely.
You had like one great grandfather who was an elf.
I mean, I think that makes more sense. Like, I feel like calling like half elf literally like needing to be one parent was an elf and one parent was a human. I kind of interpret it as more as just like you've got some Fey ancestry, like one of. In the Age of Mist, one of your ancestors got it on with a dryad or something. So there's like this recessive elven magic that pops up every couple generations or something like that.
I think that works really well because I typically have half elves, like honest half elves, be sterile, like a mule. So like, you know, a little bit of nymph, a little bit of dryad somewhere in your bloodline showing through here or there.
Yeah,
sounds perfect.
I'm probably not actually nymph or dryad. I mean, we'll save that for the speculation. But anyways, player hobgoblin. So half elves do not get like sword bonuses or anything like that.
They unfortunately do not.
So we want to do that 16 into intelligence. And then take a look. 16 intelligence gives me what you want to get me to 7th level spells. Oh, but I need to have 16 intelligence to get a higher max spell level.
Yeah. If that's okay, if you don't mind playing to higher levels than typical.
Then 15 dex will give me a bonus to AC. Probably 15 dex, 15 con. I'll swap out that 11 for the 14 in strength to get a level boost. Are you thinking to start at level 1 or start at
I think we're gonna start at level 1. But I think it's gonna do some like, you know, heroic stuff with higher levels, higher amounts of quest XP. And yeah, I was hoping today we could kick around some ideas and generate stuff to flesh it out. And there's another component to this that I've been waiting for a moment when you're done filling something out to tell you about. That I hope is going to be interesting. I want to, as you can maybe see, this is a hex grid map. Yeah. And I want to not ever show you the full map and do some like old school, you got like your own piece of paper and you like map out the terrain as you go. So that way you're like, okay, well, I know I'm like 10 squares over here and my hometown is to the east, but is it like northeast or southeast? And you've got your own map versus the map that you're walking on. And I don't know if that will be fun or super difficult, but I think you will enjoy building a map of where you go and like referring to your own parchment. Maybe. Or it might be
Fair
super fucking boring, in which case we can stop doing that shit bullshit. Maybe one of the first things you make is a magic map that shows you the whole area. And not quite coincidentally, but this will also probably be the same landmass and same map that we do our whatever, our Frofro group map of. Whatever our next Frofro campaign people thingy is. What do we call the Super Cool Kids Club game? That's what it is.
SCCC?
Super Cool Kid SCKC?
Oh yeah. Can't spell kids with it, or you can spell cool with a K.
You could.
And club with a K. Yeah, no,
Probably
SCKC.
not. Yeah. I'm not putting on any hoods when I go to the Publix or whatever. You seen that shit?
What shit?
People wearing KKK hoods to follow along with quarantine procedures of wearing masks in and grocery stores.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. It's only happened a couple of times, but like, woo, it is getting spicy and authoritarian in my country. We don't have Publix out here in Colorado, or at least not in my part of Colorado, but these are news reports I've read or seen pictures of from, I don't know where Publixes are, but something tells me it's in that southern Bible Belt region.
All right.
Florida? Yeah, Florida. What a state. Their felons get the right to vote just in time for there to be maybe no option to vote.
So are you thinking fighter wizard? No reason to bother with a rogue.
I think fighter wizard would be cool. Mm-hmm.
Fighter wizard.
You'll be able to get like expertise, if not specialization, so you'll get higher attack rates, and then you'll craft for yourself magic weapons and shit. Long run.
What the hell? What's a blade singer mean, guys?
What the fuck is a blade singer?
It's like, I don't know. It's like an elf who uses swords and casts spells and sings while they swing their swords. So the original concept I was going to go with was like an archaeologist type multi-class wizard, and use the fighter stuff to get a bunch of proficiencies in like martial arts type stuff, and see if I could use like a bow staff, use a quarterstaff as a martial arts weapon, and basically go unarmored and robed, and use there's a martial arts style that gives you a bonus to AC when you are unarmored and only armed with martial arts weapons.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a +1 from Dex. Yeah. Okay, so it seems like that's maybe preferable.
That seems pretty sweet. Especially since this is going to be a low-tech, small city-state thing. Like, the pinnacle of armor is going to be hoplite armor. So having a character who is like maybe lightly armored or whatever, run around doing shit would be sweet. Did you have a 14 to put into strength?
I do have a 14 to put into strength.
I guess that is optional. You don't have to, because you don't need to be. You need the 14 in wizard to get lesser permanency, but you don't need 14.
I don't think a 14 anywhere else gets me anything. So
yeah.
This blade is just so edgy. I can't do it. Guild tattoos.
Be like pre-barbarian. You like sing your heart out to make yourself fight better.
And she seems kind of OP.
Have like a magic tuba floating behind you to like accompany you.
Sounds like their defense is equal to their level divided by 2 plus 1. That's some
Their
OP shit.
bonus to AC?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking sweet.
So 7th level Blade Singer has plus 4 AC. Doesn't apply to rear or missile attacks.
Yeah, but like that stacks with your armor and your dex and your shields and shit.
Don't give in to the edge.
Do it.
Yeah, I think this is from Complete Book of Elves.
Yeah.
Alright. Combat gear. Let's see. Skills. Let's see. So I get the best of both. Meaning I get 4 weapon.
4 non-weapon.
Does Wizard get 4 non-weapon?
Yes, sir.
And then I will get 5 for my intelligence.
Whew. Ooh, that page is broken. Do you see the combat tab is all wonky and fucked up?
What's wonky about it?
I guess it looks great on yours. If you see the stream, you'll see that it's broken on mine. It's probably just an older version that needed some updates. Fine.
So I'm thinking to be some kind of maybe like almost like monk type character. Obviously I won't be taking like cleric stuff, but yeah, to like justify the martial arts and like the traveling the world in pursuit of knowledge and wisdom. Are there ancient ruins, or have they not even been?
There won't be like ancient. They will be a few hundred years old instead of like thousands of years old.
Okay.
And they'll probably be more like, you know, the great hero Perseus lived for so long and developed this city-state, and then his tomb is buried here. And it'd be like the tomb of a very specific hero you would be going after to like steal their shit, if that was what your jam was.
Okay.
I don't think that's probably what we'll open with, is like one of these more minor heroes who didn't ever quite reach the like saving the world, but like saved a town or saved a village somewhere once upon a time. It has got some light shit.
All right, let's see. Martial arts styles. So style D will give me a +2 bonus to AC. It says unarmed and unarmored, but I assume that if you're using martial arts weapons,
That seems legit.
I think that mentions that somewhere.
Biggest problem when you're a DM is building cool shit and then not being able to tell people about it because you don't want it to spoil the campaign.
Yeah.
Having ideas, but then being like unable to tell them. Sort of scratch that itch by talking to Lauren about him. And that kind of works. She's a great listener and she's always enthusiastic. But she doesn't really get it. She hasn't played a lot of D&D in her time. So she sort of gets it all. She has been listening through the walls and the doors to me yell at you all for 7 years now. So she kind of gets it all. Lauren is my wife. Yeah.
I mean, Aaron gets basically none of it. I don't think she's ever played D&D.
She's not around when you play, right?
Oh, she's around. She hates it. She's not around now, but really, were you not privy to any of this?
I didn't realize she hates it. How does she hate it?
I've just got an annoying voice, and she hears me talking to the walls. And
Don't say that, Ryan. That's not true.
Apparently, sometimes I'm in a bad mood after a session. I don't know.
Oh.
She's like, "You've been playing for 4 hours. Why aren't you in a better mood?" Honey, it's stressful. I almost died. Are there any combat style weapons or combat styles that are useful? Probably not. The two-hand, right? Because stabs are a two-handed weapon, right?
I think you can. Yeah, I think they're okay. I think they're. Not some.
Actually, the one-handed weapon style lets you buff your AC.
I don't. Maybe this is crazy. But what do you think about the point by? Not the point by the skills and powers. I see that glint in your eyes.
It's really complicated. I usually don't have like the right. It just like takes so much to dig through, and
it does take a little while to set up.
Right?
Yeah. But everyone
I
saw
don't actually have
that
the skills and
brightness in your eyes when I said skills and powers. There was like this gleam of, oh my god, there's so much in there.
Yeah.
You have a skills and powers on hand?
I don't have one on hand. I'd have to like go through Purple Worm, which is.
That is a bit of a pain in the butt.
Now that I'm looking at this one-handed weapon style, doing like a sword with the one hand and an open hand free for spell components or one-handed weapon, build your own blade singer kind of thing. That could work too.
In skills and powers, there's a +2 bonus to AC if unarmored and unencumbered.
Unarmored and unencumbered?
For fighters.
Oh god.
I don't know if you want to go down that route.
It's tempting for the bonuses, but we could just throw that in as a proficiency. But
yeah.
What do they call it?
Defense bonus. Yeah, it's very straightforward. There's some cool fighter stuff. I don't know if there's cool wizard stuff. I think all the cool wizard stuff is just like, I'm not going to have these schools of spells so I can get more points for doing my other stuff.
Instead of doing the martial arts, I could do the one-handed weapon style and just do like a sword in one hand and just get a +2 AC that way.
Because you could take 2 of them. You take it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dex is 15, so it's going to get 1 from that anyway. So that'd be 3 AC from that alone. You'll probably need higher than 13 AC, though. Oh, I guess once you have armor, that'll bring you to 17.
The armor spell, like, it's hard to pass up. I was thinking I'd mostly be spending my spell slots on investigation type stuff. So just having, like, detect magics and identifies to...
Yeah.
Support and spells, not combat spells. Relying on my... Yeah, anyways.
That's pretty legit. I mean, if that's...
Oh, I can't get appraising as a... unless I take rogue, but that's probably not worth it, is it? What does arcanology do?
You're just, like, familiar with the great wizards of the past.
Okay.
And you can, like, identify shit of theirs by the work that they've done or, you know, lore shit about them.
Yeah. Literacy. Wacky trying to get me to use skills and powers.
I think there are some different combat. What do you call them? Not, combat styles in the skills and powers. I think there are additional ones that aren't in the combat and tactics. Let's see if there are any good ones though.
So how does this work? I would have. It's like you start with a set number of points based on. This is going to spend we're going to spend the entire session doing math to figure out how many points I have.
God knows we hate math, and we hate making elaborate characters for hours on end. We don't have to go that route.
Like, I'm already adding proficiencies, but these wouldn't even be relevant.
Let's see. There are numerous types of fighting styles that originated, blah, blah, blah. Character. It's been proficiency slots, blah, blah, blah. Players are encouraged to do a little research before they try and build a case for a specific fighting style. Some of the suggested benefits for the use are -1 to AC, +1 to hit or damage. Character can ignore penalties for fighting with 2 weapons. Character gets a free kick or punch as well as weapon attack. Yeah. We could make some more crazy combat specialization stuff. So if you want to throw weapon proficiencies into defensive stuff. I mean, I think the reality is you'll probably end up like one of the things you'll end up rating is probably some guy with like braces of defense, AC 14.
Yeah.
And then you like just swipe that shit and add your own 3 defense to that to make it 17.
Spellcraft is a 2-slot proficiency?
Sorry, Jedro. We were doing character stats for so long until it became too popular. And now I can't keep up with all the subs. We were spending like half of our stream hours making characters. It was too much. Probably gonna get killed by a bite, a big slug. Session 3. Oh, giant slugs. What a beautiful creature. Love them.
You just nerfed spellcraft in general, right?
I don't think so.
To make it a 2-slot proficiency, right?
It was always a 2-slot proficiency.
No.
Was it 3?
It was a 1-slot.
Wait, so what? I would nerfed it and then made it a 2-slot?
No. You made it a 2-slot.
Oh,
From
that
a
is the
1
nerf to it. Is what you're saying.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Right?
That sounds like something I would do. I think I tried to make it Spellcraft 2 slots here, yeah. No. Well, here's your opportunity to tell me I'm full of shit and it should be 1 slot.
It's a very powerful proficiency if you use it rigorously, or if you're like a stickler about using it. This basically lets you identify spells as they're being cast. I like most of what you've done with proficiencies. My instinct or my inclination though is to chop them up into smaller bits and stack them. So like I had suggested you break down the crazy multi-slot healing into like sub-slots, like a first aid, like a field dressing, and then like a more like long-term care-based proficiency. I would think to separate spellcraft, like separate it into arcanology and then like combat-based spellcrafting, like being able to identify spells versus I don't know. It needs a rework. But
okay. Well, I'm open to it. We did break healing into first aid and healing.
Did you know?
Cool. I did, yes.
And first aid is an all class. That's basically just allows you to instant bind wounds. Was that the idea?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all it does.
And then healing is a 1 slot. Oh, but it requires anatomy and first aid.
Right. So it's a total 3 slot stat in the end, which I think is nice because you can
take 5, right? To get healing and herbalism would take 5 slots.
Yeah, in that case, you're like a dedicated healer, which I think is nicer this way.
Mm-hmm. So what do we think, Neal and chat, about martial artist with a staff versus sword mage?
Well, I like the non-traditional staff approach. And if it's going to have sort of Greco-Roman motifs and like technology and social structure, I think going staff or spear is a great way, and staves and spears are very, very similar. A spear is basically a staff with a pointy thing at the end.
Is a spear a martial arts weapon?
It is in Asia.
Yeah, there's some OP martial arts weapons that I was kind of avoiding initially, just based on the feel of it. But
Nodachi.
Nodachi is not a martial arts weapon, but there's like some that I haven't even heard of. Like there's a martial arts weapon that has like a shield in the middle and like spears on both ends, and like gives you an AC bonus for the shield, and you threaten your flanks because it's got 2 spears. It's a double ultra spear, and it deals like D8 damage. It's like, why would you ever not take this unless your DM's like, no, we're not in whatever weird campaign setting combat tactics is imagining.
Nice.
Giga Spear, yes. You're gonna drop like a epic magic sword into my lap as soon as we start. I'm frustrated that I didn't go with the sword. Oops.
I actually haven't thought of too far ahead to loots and stuff. Yeah. We'll do some cool stuff. I made a set of magic items for the Rohana of Arcadia, not like Rohana the Diviner in Shirebrook, but like the historic Akuban Rohana. And I've been wanting to like play that story out, but it keeps not happening. So I might just steal some of her shit. Be like, this is the shit that you slowly develop with some cool shit.
Tumbling lets you increase your unarmed attacks by +2. I probably won't bother with that. I'll mostly be using a staff, but if I do two-handed weapon, it would increase my initiative by 3. Or should I just take that defense style and buff my AC? Do you want to introduce that, or is that stupid?
I think the defense style, in addition to the one-handed defense.
I don't have one hit.
Oh, you don't have one-handed fighting style?
The martial arts style, which grants a free block, and it grants +2 to AC.
Okay.
You think stacking those sounds stupid?
Yeah, I think stacking those gets a little cray-cray.
I mean, that's what would have happened if we had gone the skills and powers route.
Right, I know. Well, no, this is the Age of Heroes. This is supposed to be like before, when the world was sort of new and everything was untamed, and great people were arising out of nothing, and they were like, greater than anyone could be later in life, sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I'm actually comfortable with that.
We'll see. I think I'll skip on the crafting, even if we're doing magic item creation.
Yeah, because that's
someone else make it.
That'll be like later shit anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need adventuring
slots would you take
stuff
for crafting anyway?
I wouldn't. Like I don't know. There's like
like blacksmithing and
stuff.
shit. Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure
won't
I
need
was
to be
looking at that made me think about that, but
You'll find a master craftsman to make you the thing to enchant yourself. It's cool. It's legit.
So do I want adventuring proficiencies or knowledge? Like, do I want to grab folklore and history and ancient languages? That was originally the route I was thinking, but I'm wondering if swimming and first aid, swimming and maybe even first aid.
Well, you'll be.
Fire building.
I think let's start with the adventuring proficiencies, and then you'll be leveling, so you can tack on the other stuff as you go about.
Swimming. First aid.
Yeah, and we might bounce around a little bit in your lifetime. You know, like we might do your first few levels as a young man, and then like skip ahead 10 years when you're like a slightly older man, and the next few levels there or whatever. So we can have some downtime in between where you can be like, well, in the past 10 years, I've learned all about the creatures of the land. Now I have a folklore proficiency sort of approach. Oh, Cubity first asks, is resurrection magic allowed? Oh, oh, sweetheart.
You think I'll have any friends to resurrect me?
Yeah. You must be new. Don't worry, we'll take care of you. We'll crush your hopes and your dreams. We'll make you love a character, and we'll take them away from you right before they achieve what they want.
I was watching we watched a movie, The King, last night, which was actually really good. I don't know much about the history of the making of it. It looked like they did a really great job with like the costumes and stuff, like the armor. I don't know if they got a bunch of like historical reenactors to like donate their armor, or if they just spent a fuck ton of their budget making trebuchets. But it was a good movie. But anyways, there's a character, I know, like an old military guy who's like makes up this plan, and he's like relying on the rain, and they're like, how do you know it's gonna rain? He's like, I can feel it in my knee. And it made me want to make a D&D character that's got a weather sense proficiency that they can feel the weather changes in their creaky joints.
Fun fact, the reason you can feel that is because weather changes often correspond with barometric pressure changes, and as the atmospheric pressure goes up or down, your like old weary joints might like notice the difference if they're especially achy. Yeah. There is a actual real world basis to make that argument on. I want to have creaky knees that can prophesize the weather.
Is fire building even necessary? Can I just have flint and steel?
Yeah, you can just have flint and steel. I think the only reason you need fire building is like if the weather's bad.
Yeah. One of the first spells I wanted to make for this campaign was like a decipher spell that is like comprehend languages, but for text. Because I think rules as written, or like comprehend languages, is not as powerful as I always imagined it is. I think you basically touch a creature and you can understand it, but you can't talk back, and you can't use it to read text or anything like that.
Yeah. I think the second level tongue spell is a little bit better. It's the we can talk together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tongues is second level? I thought Tongues is second level priest, third level wizard, I think.
Okay. Oh, and also if you look at the spells, you will see that I have merged my developmental wizard spells with the actual group spells.
Ooh, so there's new spells?
Now, yeah, most of the new spells are actually I shouldn't say most, but many of the new spells are duplicates of the existing ones. So you'll have two different versions of Magic Missile, one evocation and one conjuration, and they work a little bit differently, and 4 versions of light and, multiple versions of detect magic and that sort of stuff. And then there's some actual brand new shits. 2 versions of spider climb. Kind of branch it out and give it some more flavor. I get a little not tired, but I like to see different takes on the same shit. So I really like the new version of Detect Magic. One of the new ones where you crumble up dust and enchant it and sprinkle it on things to detect whether they're magic or not. Or
I like that in Akuban Knights. Was that your idea, or was that Neka's?
That was mine.
Just Neka role playing it properly.
He did a really good job of just doing lines of magic dust to see the magical auras of things.
Yeah, and Faye did a very good job being concerned for him. What do you think about using a 2-handed staff with martial arts and still getting offhand things? So there's fine. Martial arts style that lets you get a free punch. Does it make sense to do staff, punch, staff kind of thing, switching from 2-handed to 1-handed?
Because I think if you're wielding a staff, there's no place on it that you can't grip, so you can change it between 1-handed and 2-handed very, very quickly. Whereas with a 2-handed sword, you need that second hand there for balance. So if you let go and then go to punch someone, you're gonna fuck up your sword positioning. Whereas with the staff, you can let go and it's nice and light, and then you can whap and grab it again. So I'm down to let the staff be versatile in the hands of a heroic martial artist. And how many whip proficiencies are you going to take here? Going to be an expert?
Say that again?
How many whip proficiencies are you taking here? We're going to go
I was going to spend 2, but then there's some fighting styles that make me better with my whip. And I've also got rope use, so I was hoping I could use the whip to make lassos and climb. I'm just kidding. I don't have rope use or whips. I was entertaining the idea of making a whip character. So I think I'll have martial arts. Sorry, jumping from the memes to real discussion. Probably martial arts style A and D. A is the punching. D is the dodges, blocks. It looks like I get a free attack and a free block if I take both. The way it's worded, it's if the character is unarmed and unarmored, he can make an extra attack each round with his other hand, provided it is free.
Yep.
Without the usual penalties for attacking with weapons. And then D is the character can make 1 free block each round in addition to any attacks he makes.
Yep.
So in addition to any attacks he makes. Sounds like... So, and then I've got 2 points in staff. So I'll get 3 every 2 with the staff, an extra punch every round, and a free block every round.
Yep.
So on odd rounds, it will be 3 attacks and a block at level 1. Nice.
Yep. And even rounds will be 2 attacks and a block?
Yeah.
No, wait.
A staff, punch, block. Yeah.
Staff, punch, block would be odd rounds. Even rounds would be 3 attacks and a block.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yes, the whip is terrible. We are warriors. For now, until we buff it and make it the best weapon in the game.
Or make it a magic item.
The Whip of Slaying. Deals damage through armor. Ooh, it's a psychic whip. Whip of domination. You hit it and you take psychic damage. Unless you have the masochistic trait, in which case it heals you. Gives you temporary HP and bonus to hit.
All right, let's roll for ambidexterity. 8.
Oh.
Lucky 8. I should roll for HP, huh?
D10 plus D6 divided by 2 plus 1.
Oh, wizards are buffed to D6?
Mm-hmm.
Georg had D4s, didn't he?
He did.
So.
This buff came after Georg.
And then plus 1 to this. Not bad at all. We don't round up, do we? We'll just keep a 6.5 and...
Yeah, 6.5, which is 7.5. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, those are beautiful HP rolls, man.
Bad, not bad. Saving throws, I get the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's not on settings or on the modifiers, is it? It is not.
No, I haven't added it yet.
How are you going to want to do spells? Like, should we roll? Do we get a certain limited number?
Oh, we can... Why don't we let you pick, like, 4, and then you can roll for a couple extras? Did you want to try out the MP system that gives you more flexibility, but a slower spell recovery? Instead of getting all your spells back every night, you get a certain amount of MP back every night? Or do you want to go classic?
I'm kind of over the classic, but I figured I wouldn't be using that much spells. Like, I'm imagining I don't really want to have the armor spell, but I feel like I can't avoid it. It's just too good. And then I was thinking I'd just have like a detect magic, identify, read magic.
Yeah, but it might be nice to have it as spell points instead of slots, so you can do some, you don't have to say, oh, I'm going to need an identify and a read today. Oh no, I actually needed 3 detects. Oh no.
Yeah.
No. It could be fun to kick
how
around.
How does the MP system work? Like, how much MP do you get, and how much does spells cost?
That is a question.
Do you have a document you can send, or is
I do have a document I can send.
Yeah. I have a not that we would use it here, but I've got a new spell casting system that I've been kicking around based off of like ammunition dice that I've seen in like various various house rules, where like instead of tracking arrows, you've got an ammunition dice, and if you roll a 1, you drop the dice size. So like a full quiver is D20, and every time you shoot, you roll a D20, and if you roll low, it drops it down to a D12, and if you roll low, it drops it down to a D8. If you roll low, or D10, and eventually you've got one arrow. You've got 1 arrow left. But basically, you'd have a spell casting die. So like if you're, I don't know, you'd have to test it to figure out exactly what it is. But maybe you're whatever level, I don't know. You're 3rd level, you've got a D6 spell casting die, and you can cast spells. And every time you cast a spell, you roll a D6. And if you roll 3 or above, it's fine, and you can just keep casting spells. But if you roll a 1 or a 2, it decreases your spell casting die to a D4. And then if you roll a 1 or 2, it drops it down to a D2 or something, and then it drops down to 1. And then I was thinking you could like overcharge your spells. So I was originally thinking anytime you roll a 1, it like backfires or something like that. And then so if your casting die is reduced to 1, you can keep casting spells, but every time you cast a spell, it's overcharging you and it deals damage equal to the spell level or something like that. Anyways.
That's interesting.
Random beta systems I've been kicking around.
That seems like a fun idea. I worry that it gets like one session you just roll all 6s or whatever, and you never run out of spells. On another session, you roll like 3 1s in a row, and all of a sudden, you're just wrecked super early.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something there though. So here is the link for the wizard. Where's Ryan? So you start with MP equal to your willpower, and you gain 1d willpower every time you level up. And then there's a flat cost. So first level spells cost 3 MP, second cost 5, third cost 9.
So I've got another stat I need. Willpower is a dump stat.
Yeah.
But I can buff that.
Yeah, but if you just switch your will and your charisma, be hunky-dory. Or you could stick with 12, because if you're not going to be relying on spells for combat, 12 MP is 4 first level spells.
That's a lot more spells at low levels.
But then
I guess less later on.
You like roll 1d willpower on a full night's sleep. And if you get like really good sleep, you can roll at advantage for your willpower. So you will, instead of being like 9th level, casting all your spells, waking up in the morning, spending like 4 hours memorizing everything, it'll be like, I blew all my spells. Now I need to spend 5 days resting to get them back. Or, twice your level days resting to get it back.
And you can't learn spell levels higher than you have, right?
Right.
Have you balanced this at high levels? I worry that it'd be like you cast a 9th level spell and that's all you get that day. Or
it'll
you can
be like
cast infinity level 1 spells. Even if you're like a level 20 wizard and you've got...
So if you're level 18 with 12 willpower, you should have around 122 MP. So it would be like, I'll cast my 9th level spell, and then I'll be down to like 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st.
Or you can cast 20 magic missiles.
Right. Or you can just sit there like magic missiling shit all day long. Closer to 40 magic missiles, though. But yeah.
I like your commentary here instead of just like writing this out in a serious way. You're just like, Ross says humans have D6 HP, which is stupid.
It is. It's so dumb.
Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, we can check this out.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere on the character sheet to record? Oh, MP.
Yep.
So I think I'll probably want to flip it around. So it's 13 will, 12 charisma, 12 perception. I even was entertaining putting a 15 into will for the magic defense adjust, but I think it's better off having that in dex and con.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, so that gives me 13 MP. And I can't learn 2nd level spells until I'm level 3. Is that the idea?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. You were playing with some system where you can learn higher level spells at a lower level if you come across them. But
yeah. I think we were dicking around with that. It didn't work out the way I had dreamed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had some harebrained idea about like checking in with army groups where you could like see the positioning of people on the map, and then like it never came to fruition. And I think they needed like a higher level spell to be able to do it. So I was like, all right, take it. And then no one ever checked at the position of the army groups on the map. And it was like, okay, that's fun.
Yeah, I don't understand, but anyways.
I don't think my players understood either, and it didn't happen. I think I did it very, very poorly. I'll take on this responsibility.
Oh, you changed quarterstaff to do D4 plus 1?
Oh, yeah. What was it before? D6?
Yeah, D4 plus 1 actually sounds better, I think. And I believe I took two-handed weapons, so my speed with a quarterstaff is 1.
Nice.
My speed with a fist is 3. Oh well.
Because the quarterstaff has got that reach, so you can surprise people with like a. I mean, it's not like mechanical reach, but
yeah,
whatever you can reach with your fist, your quarterstaff can go beyond that. And if you spin it fast enough, you can hit him faster than you could reach him with your fists.
Yeah.
Quick topic change. What do you feel about putting cinnamon in your coffee, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Of course. Yeah, I've gone through phases where I put cinnamon in my coffee.
Glad to get your approval.
Yeah. If you've got really nice coffee, you probably don't want to do it. But if you're...
What if I have French vanilla coffee that's already slightly
God.
vanilla flavored?
Yeah.
And then I add cinnamon and sugar and a little bit of nutmeg and some milk.
Okay. Should I roll for wealth? I don't know what I'm going to spend it on, but...
No, you're going to be a poor boy from a poor village. You'll be broke as shit.
Okay.
And sort of the general idea is you're from this, like, backwater hill village of just, like, a couple hundred people out in the middle of nowhere, probably mostly goat farmers or whatnot.
Yeah.
And over the course of your lifetime, you'll build this small little town into a glorious city-state that raids along the coastlines and blah blah blahs and founds entire towns for the purpose of sea trade and travel or whatever, you know. It'll be largely left up to you. Got all the coffee purists in chat coming out of the woodwork to admonish me for adding anything to my coffee other than drinking it black.
I like my coffee
crazy.
black, but I don't know. Cinnamon's tasty. What's the problem? What we've been doing lately, all right, get out your pitchforks, is ginger coffee. So like grinding up a bunch of ginger and brewing that with the coffee.
Ooh.
And like a pour over with like pureed ginger mixed in with the grounds.
Coffee's already bitter. How do you stand it when you put the ginger in it
Ginger's
too?
not bitter. It's like, yeah, it's not
I
bitter.
guess it's not bitter, but it's pungent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are your ranges already in feet? Oh no, yards. Holy shit, this can't be right.
What?
You can throw a sling 300 yards.
What?
That's longer than a longbow.
That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, that can't be right at all.
This is in the economics.
Yeah.
Sling bullets. Oh, that doesn't look right. That must be feet. For some
100
reason, that
doesn't-
one must
doesn't
be in
it-
feet.
But slings don't. But 100 doesn't evenly divide into feet.
Oh, right. That would be 33 yards or something. 33.3 yards.
Yeah. I've got combat and tactics, which isn't the best. So this has 10 squares, which is 50 feet, right?
Yeah.
Or 50. So this has 50, 100, 200 as the range for a sling bullet
In feet.
in feet. What is
Let's see. Player's Handbook has Sling Bullet as 50, 100, 200 yards.
200 yards or feet?
Yeah, yards. It has Longbow with a flight arrow at 210 yards.
Yeah, that's what you have here. 210 as the longbow. So what is the? It's 50. So it's one. So you actually nerfed it. Oh no, this is 50, 100, 150,
200 yards.
200 yards.
Yeah, that's for the
So
bullet.
that's-
The stone is a little bit less.
So it's 150,
Yeah, so I think,
300, 600 feet.
yeah, I think these ranges need to be modified because you're right. As it stands, 100, 200, 300 yards is crazy pants.
Well, that's wrong. I mean, it should be
Yeah.
50. I mean, yeah. Anyways.
So 50, 100, 200 yards, and the staff stone is 40, 80, 160. That's out of the player's handbook.
Okay.
I mean, I know you could get some pretty good ranges if you really know what you're doing with a sling. I just can't imagine you could hit anything with accuracy at that range.
Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, I've got all my proficiencies. I need to add gear. So it will be 1 staff, 1 sling, maybe like 20 bullets. Are those metal? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
1 robes, weight 5 pounds. Let's see. Water skin, knife.
You do 14 strength.
I did. I think basically what's left to do is spells.
Okay. Mr. Generalist Wizard, why don't you, as this heroic figure that's going to save the world or destroy the world or whatever the world, do something to the world, why don't you pick 5 to know, including read and detect, and then we'll roll another 3 or 4.
All right. Is there a spell list I should look at?
RegalGoblins.com/spells.php !caster equals wizard, capital W.
But I think I'm basically gonna do armor, read magic, detect magic. Ooh,
Armor,
allure.
read, detect.
Rrr. Let's wash themselves in soapy water.
Get yourself all nice and
Wait.
clean.
Why is bark skin under wizard?
Because there is a wizard
There's a new
skin.
bark skin. Yeah.
It's a new bark skin. Mm-hmm. And it's very different because like your skin actually grows into bark. So if you're wearing armor or
Reduces
something,
incoming damage by 3.
yeah. But if you wear armor with it on,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden like you get stuck in your armor and you get locked into place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
This is way too. Oh, 1 round per level.
yeah.
I was like, this is similar to my steel skin, but nowhere near as good.
Some weird stuff in here. You got a new comprehend languages.
Oh, you comprehend languages allows you to read writing, so I don't even need to make my. Oh, I guess this is the original. So comprehend languages can be used on writing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Expeditious retreat.
When you have to go, when you got to go fast. Is that the meme?
Mm-hmm.
Did that film ever actually come out?
What?
Did Sonic movie?
I think it did, yeah. Oh. Glancing blow. You made a spell with an instant spellcast that you can use as like a
As like an interrupt.
yeah.
I don't know if it's a good
I was
idea, but I wanted to try it.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. There are a couple of those.
Identify potion. It's like a lower level identify, or like less expensive identify for potions.
Yeah. 10 GP Pearl, and then it only works on potions. That's a little bit more clear. The mechanic of like, well, just taste it and see what it does is fun, but I find it gets a little frustrating sometimes. So this is sort of the like, let's not play with that bullshit. Here's a spell that solves your problems. It should probably be like 1 potion per level instead of just 1 potion.
There's some cool stuff in here.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know how much of it I'll be taking, but
Yeah. I doubt very much. There's a
Right.
mana tap, although I doubt you will need
yeah,
it if you're...
I scanned over that, but yeah.
Yeah. I really,
Basically allows you to
really...
convert HP into mana. Is that the idea?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoy the variant light spells, and for no
Yeah.
particular reason, but they get my juices flowing, they get my jimmies rustled.
Yeah.
You know,
Are there any versions of armor that I would consider over the stock armor? It doesn't look like it, but
no, there's just the one armor spell.
well, what about
There's
spirit
a spirit armor, isn't there? Yeah.
Weren't there multiple versions of spirit armor? Are they higher level or something?
I think I might have like scrapped them. Maybe where are they? Where's spirit armor? Oh yeah, they're 2nd level.
Okay.
There's 3 of them.
I need to go to the bathroom. Should we take a break now?
Why don't we take a break?
or-
We haven't taken
Okay.
a break yet. Let's do it. See you guys on the other side of a break. Bye bye.